Welcome to the Grateful Living podcast. I'm your host, Talisha Meyer. I'm a published author, writer, holistic massage practitioner, empath, intuitive, and light worker. Join us for this week's episode. Hi, beautiful souls. Today's episode is one I know will land deeply for so many of you. We're exploring the people pleaser shadow. If you've ever said yes when everything in your body was screaming no. If you've ever left your own needs on the back burner because somebody else needed you more. If you've been praised for being so nice, so helpful, so selfless, but deep down you felt unseen, burnt out, or even a little bitter, then this episode is for you. Here's what we rarely say out loud. People pleasing is not just a habit. It's not just being nice. It's often a survival strategy. A nervous system response, a shield your inner child crafted so you could stay safe and connected. Because underneath all of that agreeableness is usually fear. Fear of rejection, fear of disapproval, fear of what might happen if you stop being useful, agreeable, or easy to love. Somewhere along the way, your system internalized this message. If I can make everyone else happy, maybe they won't leave. Maybe I'll be loved. Maybe I'll be safe. But there's a cost. When you keep making others comfortable at the expense of your truth, you start abandoning yourself again and again until you don't even recognize what you truly feel, want, or need anymore. In shadow work, we're looking at the parts of us we've hidden, suppressed, or denied. Not because they were bad, but because they weren't safe to express. The people pleaser is a fragmented self, a protector, an adaptive role. She's the version of you who learned that being quiet, helpful, agreeable, self-sacrificing earned safety, praise, or emotional survival. Maybe you had an emotionally unavailable caregiver. Maybe love came with strings. Maybe being high-achieving or low maintenance was the only way to be seen. But she's not the fullest expression of you. She's smart, she's devoted, she's exhausted. And when we don't bring her out of the shadow, we live trapped in a cycle of overgiving, quiet resentment, and feeling disconnected from our own needs. Healing the people pleaser means compassionately witnessing this part of you, not shaming her. Thanking her for how she's protected you, and slowly, lovingly letting her retire from her post. This isn't about becoming selfish or cold. It's about becoming sovereign, learning how to belong to yourself first. And let me be real with you guys, this shadow ran deep for me. As someone who was a carer from such a young age, I learned early on that my role was to be responsible, to anticipate needs, to keep everything together, even when I was crumbling inside. I became hyper aware of what other people's emotions were. I could sense tension before anyone even said a word. I knew how to stay small, agreeable, helpful, and I did it so well. I didn't even realize it was self-betrayal. I just thought I was being good, but goodness came at an expense of my truth. Burnout eventually forced me to pause, but what broke me open was the quiet rage, the ache of always being there for others but feeling invisible. The pain of smiling on the outside while screaming internally. It wasn't until I began doing the inner child and shadow work, not just journaling, but nervous system regulation, boundaries, somatic healing, that I saw what was really going on. I wasn't just tired, I was tired of betraying myself. So you're probably wondering, how do I know if I'm stuck in the people pleaser pattern? Here are some real embodied signs that the people pleaser shadow is running the show. You say yes even when your gut says no, and then feel resentful or overwhelmed. You apologize constantly, even when you've done nothing wrong. You avoid conflict, even healthy disagreement, because it feels unsafe in your body. You downplay your needs or avoid expressing them altogether. You morph into different versions of yourself depending on who you're with. You feel responsible for other people's emotions. You can't relax unless everyone else is okay. These aren't flaws, they are adaptations. They're responses to what your body and nervous system perceived as unsafe. If love once felt conditional, based on performance, helpfulness, or self-sacrifice, then of course your system learned to please. Now let's talk about healing, not just intellectually, but nervous system deep. Number 1, start with observation, not judgment. Begin noticing the moments you override yourself. The voice that says, don't say that, they'll be upset. You should just do it, don't be difficult. Instead of obeying that voice, get curious. Ask yourself, who am I afraid of disappointing? Where did I learn that love equals compliance? What does my inner child need right now? Number 2, regulate before you rewire. Before we can set boundaries or say no, our nervous system needs to feel safe enough to do so. So practice grounding techniques like deep belly breaths, EFT tapping, butterfly hugs, placing a hand on your heart and saying, I'm safe to be seen. This helps you move from fawn, which is the people-pleasing mode, into safety and connection with self. Number 3, give yourself permission and repeat it often. Try affirmations that feel uncomfortable but true. I'm allowed to disappoint others and still be worthy. I'm not responsible for other people's emotions. I can be loved and still say no. Number 4, practice micro boundaries. You don't need to start with a massive no. Try things like, let me get back to you. I need some time to think. Actually, I'd prefer this instead. Each time you honor your truth, even in the small ways, you rebuild your self-trust. Number 5, reparent the inner child. Visualize the little girl inside who thought she had to earn love. Let her know she doesn't have to perform, she doesn't have to be perfect, and that she is enough exactly as she is. So here are my final thoughts for you. Your people pleaser shadow was created from wisdom, but she doesn't have to be your leader anymore. You are allowed to outgrow the roles that once kept you safe. You are allowed to take up space, even if it makes others uncomfortable. You are allowed to choose self-honor over self-sacrifice. The truth is, your needs matter. Your no is sacred. Your yes deserves to be rooted in desire, not fear. You don't have to earn your rest. You don't have to abandon yourself to belong. You are worthy, not because of what you do for others, but because of who you are. Let your authenticity lead. Let your truth be enough. Let the people pleaser finally rest. If this episode hit a chord with you, I want you to know you're not alone. You're not broken. You're in a process of remembering who you were before the world told you to be small. I'd love for you guys to share this episode with someone who needs it. And if you're on this journey of shadow work and self-reclamation, come say hi over on Instagram or check out my one-on-one sessions and resources linked in the show notes. I do actually have a blog post on this as well, so feel free to have a little read. Until next time, keep choosing you. You are safe to be seen. Thank you for listening to today's episode. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at _grateful_living.